What's up, tribe? Sorry about that, you guys. I was on a phone call and it was a call I had to take. I was finishing up a phone call, so I apologize that it took me a little bit longer to get back here. But let's get into it. This is Married to Medicine, season 12, episode 4. Why I feel like Married to Medicine been on longer than 4 episodes? I was like, episode 4, that's it? Anyway, so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. So we're still at the birthday get together for Brandy, right? Ain't her name Brandy? Angel. What her name, Xavier? Chuck, is it Angel or is it Brandy? Why I want to call that lady Brandy? I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I feel like it's Angel. Brandy. Why I want to call her Angel? Okay, so I was right the first time, Brandy. You know what? Miss Pretty Amazing, you the second person. Hold on, I'm about to call him right now. You the second person that told me that. I'm about to call T-Az right now. You are the second person that told me that T-Az was talking about me this morning. Hold on, I'm calling him right now. I'm calling him right now. I'm putting him on speaker too. T. So why my people coming back and telling me that you was dragging me this morning? I'ma whoop your ass, nigga.
I ain't drag. I was just telling the truth.
you know I was traveling. I ain't had time to go listen. I'm gonna listen when I get off here. But I'm gonna snatch you by that ponytail and I'm gonna twirl you around the room.
All right, I'm gonna wait on it.
Now the third, see people, they telling me, they said you was I'm gonna listen. You wait till I see you later on the night, nigga.
I'm gonna be there too.
Bye. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna grab him by that ponytail and twirl him around. I sure am. That's why I love y'all. Y'all say nuh-uh. Okay. Chuck, today's your birthday. Oh no, happy birthday, Chuck. Hey boo, I did not know. Is it still Sagittarius season? Because my mom is a Capricorn and her birthday's the day after Christmas. I feel like this must be Capricorn season. Chuck, you a Capricorn? I did not know that. Happy birthday, Chuck. Why I didn't know this was your birthday? It's your birthday. Hey, it's your birthday, boy. You know it's your birthday now. Now, Chuck, you know you one of my boo things. If you want to put your or you want to cuss, Chuck, if you want to put your Cash App in the chat, go on and drop it. You know you one of my boo things now. Go on and put it. If he put, knowing Chuck's stubborn ass, he might not put it in there. But if Chuck drops his Cash App, if y'all want to bless him, y'all send him a little happy birthday blessing, a little something, something. But if not, happy birthday, and happy birthday again, many more. No offense to the Caps, but it's a travesty that Sag get the whole Christmas season, but not the actual day. Well, my mom's birthday is the day after Christmas, so let me get back into this Married to Medicine. I don't know why I got this tickle in my throat, y'all. This Married to Medicine of it all. Child. Maybe it was that New York air all weekend, honey. I don't know. I know it was cold as hell. Okay, see, he did drop it. That's Chuck's right there. If y'all want to bless him, hold on, let me pause right now. I'm going to send him a little blessing myself. That's my boo thing right there. It's a little something, Chuck. It'll be something for you to go get you a drink on. I know you and your friends get together for y'all brunch. It'll be enough for a little drinky drink. And it'll be enough for a little drinky drink. What is it? C-A-S. C-H-A-S. Hold on. C-H-A-S. I'll make sure. Oh, there it is. You pop right on up. Okay. Confirm. Before I forget, because y'all know my mind be there, but y'all know sometimes it don't always translate. My mind be there though. My mind be in the right place, but my memory don't always match it. Okay. And happy birthday to you, Chuck. Make sure that, let me know if that went through. Okay. All right. Little piece of change. Get your little drink on me. Get your little drink on me. All right. Oh, Lord, this damn chair. Y'all know me in this chair. We fighting. All right. So the episode starts off. We are still at Brandy's birthday soiree. Okay. We're still at Brandy's birthday soiree. Let me say something. I want us to. What's up, Smoke? Hey, boo. Just like I want us to normalize just like I want us to normalize understanding that all familial relationships are not healthy relationships, right? Like I told you guys that 10 years ago, I would have told somebody, well, that person is your mother and you only get one mother and you should just try to make it work and just be respectful. Remember, I told y'all that 10 years ago, I probably would have gave somebody that advice and I wouldn't give them that same advice today. I'm going to say the same thing about marriages. I want us to stop. When somebody is telling you that things are not good in their marriage, I want, and I say us because I want us to stop writing that off and saying, stop saying that. And that's what they were doing when Simone was telling them. She's crying out to her friends and saying, listen, things aren't good at home. This marriage ain't working for me right now. And I am at my wit's end. We got to listen when people are talking to us and stop saying, don't say that, Simone. Simone, stop saying that. Don't do that. You had Jackie, you had Quad, you had all these people. She ain't getting no divorce. Don't listen to her. What you mean she not getting no divorce? If that relationship is no longer serving her, she absolutely should get a divorce. And I would never give somebody advice to get a divorce unless it was a physical abuse situation and I felt like their safety was at risk. I am not giving you advice to get a divorce, but what I'm also not going to do is I'm not going to not hear what you're telling me and tell you shouldn't. If you are not being served and this relationship no longer serves you, by all means be happy, my love. Now, one time my pastor said, stay until all the love is gone. Now, I do think you should try to work it out. I don't think you should run at the first sign of trouble. But I feel like Simone has been through it. And I feel like the first time Simone filed for divorce, y'all talked to and stand with that man. And I'm not saying, they've been, so they've been together for probably another 5 or 6 years. So maybe there was something still there. But we have to stop doing that. And I was watching that scene and I was like, y'all are not listening to this woman. She is crying out to you guys as her friends. And y'all are disregarding what she's saying because y'all don't want to see a marriage end. I was talking to a friend today. Baby, sometimes marriages end. Sometimes they don't make it. And it's no harm, no foul. Sometimes people just grow apart. Sometimes people are not the same people that we married. Sometimes we grew out. We were on the same page here, but we grew out into different directions. And it's no harm, it's okay. It's no failure. Those kids are grown. They raised their children. They did the best they could with what they had. Simone is ready to retire. She is ready to do some other things with her life. And she's young enough that she can enjoy those things and experience those things. And if her and Cecil are not on the same page and her and Cecil's relationship no longer serves her and is no longer in her best interest, guess what? It's okay to say, friend, I got you, friend. And on those nights, when it feels lonely, baby, call me. You call me in the middle of the night and I'll roll over and talk to you. Or I'm going to put on my slippers and ride on over to your house. When you need to take a solo trip because you're not used to traveling alone because you've been you've been married with kids and you ready to take this trip, baby. If you need a wingman, I'm coming. I'm going to tell my husband I'm going to be gone for a couple of days. I'll be your wingman. I'll do it with you. We have to stop and listen when people are talking to us, because that is how people end up feeling alone and they make different decisions. And when I say different decisions, I'm just leaving that open. I'm just leaving that open. I'm just saying different decisions, okay? If that woman goes home every day and is miserable, why would you want that for your friend? Just to say she stayed married and we convinced her to stay married. Why are you trying to convince her to stay somewhere she's telling you she doesn't want to be? Now, again, I ain't saying that I would convince her to get a divorce, but I'm going to hear her. What's going on? What happened, Simone? How long you been feeling this way, girl? Have y'all gone to therapy? Well, what did the therapist say? Have you done individual therapy? Well, what did your individual therapist say? I was with some friends this weekend, and those are the kinds of conversations we had with each other. Was when one of my, I have a friend going through a situation similar to that right now. Baby, what you need from me? What did your therapist say? Because I know she's in therapy. Baby, what did your therapist say? Well, what do you feel like you need to do? How can I support you? I didn't like it. And again, 5 years ago, I might not have seen that scene that way. But now I see it that way. And I feel like if this woman is crying out to y'all, stop disregarding her feelings, because I feel like that's what you're doing. You're disregarding her feelings. But neither here nor there. That's what I have for that. They went on, Dr. Heavenly and Simone went on to have a conversation where Dr. Heavenly let it be known that, you know, she's not speaking, her and Simone talking, she's not speaking to her, her son's not speaking to her. Her son's not speaking to her. I think she said on Carlos King, that she still has not, I think she said she hasn't had an in-person conversation with her son in over a year. And I know a lot of people don't like Dr. Heavenly and they feel how they feel about Dr. Heavenly, but that has got to be a painful thing that your child. Because let's look at this from the beginning, from what we know. Your child made a mistake. He made a mistake. It was a big mistake. Right? He ended up getting arrested. He called his father. His father didn't tell you in the beginning. I do believe that Dr. Heavenly knew before it hit the blogs, but I do not believe she knew when it happened. So you didn't know about it. When you found out about it, you reacted. And through her own admission, she said she probably was real nasty with it. She cussed him out, probably said some real nasty things to him. And in return, he has not spoken to you in person. She said he didn't get disrespectful to her. He just packed his stuff and he left. And he ain't been back. And that was a year ago. And in the first episode, Dr. Heavenly said to her husband, "Can't you make him call me? Can't you make him come home?" This is what I'm going to say. And Damon said, "No, I can't make him. You know, he's a man. I got to let him be a man, yada, yada, yada." I'm going to be honest and tell y'all, I kind of disagree with that thought process. I understand that your child is a man. Your son is a man. He is not a child anymore. But I also feel like, Damon, I feel like you can intervene on some level. Now, let me be clear. I don't know what was said that night. I don't know what Dr. Heavenly said to that boy. Maybe Damon feels like Dr. Heavenly went too far and she crossed the line, and that's why he's not getting involved. But I feel like as the father, I do feel like you could broker something. Now, again, we only have a limited amount of information, so I'm basing this on the limited amount of information that I have. But I feel like as the father, you can broker something. That's me on the outside looking in, y'all. That is me on the outside looking in. I do think the son is talking to Damon. Now, this is what I'm gonna say, and this is gonna be the hard part. Are you still financially supporting him? Because let me tell you what I'm not doing. I don't care how much money I have. I'm not going to be financially supporting somebody that can't work out a disagreement with me. Because we're going to start at the beginning. You screwed up, sir. You had an incident at college where you assaulted a police officer and got arrested. So let's start from the beginning. You made a mistake. Yes, I reacted, and maybe I reacted badly. Maybe I called you some names. Maybe I said some shit out of pocket. But you created the situation that I am responding to. And if I'm being honest, and again, this is just my opinion, I'm not financially supporting somebody that can't sit down. If we're going to be a man, we're going to be a man all the way around. That can't sit down and have a conversation with me face to face. Now, she says she hasn't had an in-person, so that doesn't mean she hasn't talked to him in a year. That means that he has not been back to the house to have a conversation with her in a year. I'm not financially supporting somebody that can't come in my house and sit down and have a conversation with me. Because if I was that egregious to you and I was that horrible to you and I said and the things I said to you was so nasty, then why you want my money? Why you want my money? So I'm okay to support you, but I'm not okay for you to sit down and have a conversation with me. And again, I get it. Maybe you needed a couple of months to cool down. Great. It's been a year. It's been a year according to Dr. Heavenly. It's been a year. I'm not doing that. And I'm pretty certain that Dr. Heavenly is still supporting him between that household. Let me say that household is still financially supporting him. I would be willing to bet. I'd be willing to bet. And I wouldn't be me. But neither here nor there. I'm sure that's a hurtful thing. He may not be on her dime. How old is this kid? Well, he's out of college. I'm not sure if he was in. I think both of her kids were in medical school. Because the younger son he's in school to be a dentist, but I think the older son was in medical school. I think. Don't quote me on that. I think it depends on what Heavenly is saying through the phone. Well, this is what I'm going to say though. But I still, it's the financial part. I agree. I don't know enough of the story to say for certain, because I'm sure Dr. Heavenly said some nasty shit. I mean, by her own admission, she said some stuff. She admits that what she said was nasty. She admits that. He was at Georgia State and got a finance degree. Okay, so maybe he's not in grad school. Okay. And maybe he isn't on her dime. He may very well not be on her dime, y'all. That's fine. But I'm saying if he is in any way, shape, or form still on that dime, not if you can't sit down and have a conversation with me. Now, he might not be. He has a college degree. Maybe he has a job and he lives within the means of the job that he makes. I don't know. But I'm just saying, and again, I don't know. So I'm just saying in general, I'm just making a statement about that. Next, we have this scene with Toya and Eugene. They're going for a walk. At first, she's talking about this rental space with Contessa and Sky. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really glad that Toya is saying no. We're not going to rent this space because one, the space that they've set aside isn't conducive to what we want. It's not a great space. And you know that she said Contessa kept all the good space for herself, the windows, the lighting and everything. She was like, so no, we're not doing that. I'm okay with that. He's on Dr. Damon's dime. She said if Damon wants to do stuff for his kids, because she was relating it to her and Simone regarding giving the kids money. Okay. Well, if we're married, we in the same house. It's not his money and her money. It's our money. But that's, again, everybody handles their financial business differently. Um. So again, I'm glad that they are probably not going to rent that space, because I felt like that was a disaster waiting to happen. I felt like, mixing business with pleasure and mixing business with with this show where they always want y'all to have a storyline. I could easily see next season that those two couples are fighting over the coffee machine in the break room. You know what I mean? Just some stupid shit for a storyline. And so I'm glad that at least for now, it looks like they're not going to rent that space. But then the second half of this argument, again, I'm on the outside looking in, y'all. I'm on the outside looking in. But the second half of this argument, it totally pisses me off. Toya, you're complaining about this man working, trying to find jobs to make as much money as he can in the smallest amount of, he said shorter shifts, more money. Yes, it's 5 hours away. And yes, you have to go days, 2 or 3 days at a time, 5 days at a time when you don't see your husband. Then stop fucking spending money. It's a real easy solution, Toya. You don't want to stop spending money because you want this lifestyle. Well, this lifestyle costs. You're not, I ain't gonna say you're not working, but, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure her paycheck for Married to Medicine and whatever little odds and ends that she does, I know her little wine thing or whatever, she probably does bring money into the household. Well, not probably. We know she brings money into the household. So I'm in no way, shape, or form saying that she doesn't contribute. But for you to be sitting there mad at this man working, it's because you want to drive the Porsche and buy the Birkins and travel, take these beautiful first class trips and live in this ridiculous, well, I shouldn't say, anyway, this beautiful but expensive home, and you want to have this lifestyle. You and he's telling you that. He said you got to make a decision. Something's got to give. He's telling you that. And you're not hearing it. You want the lifestyle without the sacrifice. And I'm sorry, the sacrifice is either A, he works in town, but you don't see him because he has to work more shifts, or B, he works out of town and he works less shifts, but you don't see him for days at a time because he's working out. And I know he started his clinic, but basically what I heard in that conversation was the clinic ain't bringing in enough money right now. The clinic's not, he said once the clinic gets to that, their wellness clinic, once it gets to the point where they're making enough money, then sure. But I heard that it ain't making enough money. Right. Toya is selfish. And that's what, again, I know we don't like people, but Dr. Heavenly's been saying that for years. And what we saw at the end of this episode, Dr. Heavenly's been saying for years. We'll get there when we get there. But Toya is very selfish. Because I don't understand how you're not making the connection between 1 + 1 = 2. It's a very simple equation, Toya. 1 + 1 is going to always equal 2, and it's very simple. The sacrifice is him overworking himself, and that has dire Exactly. Bat. The home isn't ridiculous, but the amount of home is. And that's why I stop the word ridiculous, because it's a beautiful home. And there's nothing wrong with wanting these things. But what Toya has to understand is that there's a sacrifice involved. I wonder, and I don't know this, I'm just throwing a wondering out there. I wonder how Toya spends her paycheck. Do you put it back into the household, or do you say this is my money? When you get your Married to Medicine checks, which I know you're making a pretty penny these days. You've been on Married to Medicine since the first season. We're in season 12. I'm sure you get a very nice paycheck every season. But what do you do with your money? Eugene once said that Toya made more money than him. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, it's given Toya uses that his money is ours, but not my money is mine. I think that Toya makes more money than him for the amount of time Toya works. I don't think that at the end of the year, Toya makes more money than Eugene. I could be wrong. But I think for the amount of time that she works, she probably makes more money than him. But I could be wrong. I mean, I know he did say that, Xavier, but I also think, as we saw at the end of this episode, I also think that Eugene says things to help Toya save face. Just like at the end of this episode, he was ready to apologize, talking about I should have read the room. I don't think Eugene did anything wrong. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Yeah, in the beginning, because remember, Toya was a teacher. I ain't talking about in the beginning. He said that a couple of reunions ago. Yeah, I know she makes, that's what I'm saying. Her check is good, but I think he was equating the amount of time that she works. But I could be wrong, child. I don't know. But neither here nor there, it still makes me wonder, if that's the case, then it still makes me wonder why he's working so hard. But anyway, we're going to get to it. Child, that's why Eugene mama don't like her. She spent $1,200 on a Christmas tree. Who makes like $800K? Who you talking about? Married to Medicine, or you talking about Eugene as a doctor? I think Eugene has a confidence issue and he gets his validation through Toya. I definitely think when he picked up the weight. I mean, to hear when Toya was saying that he was a nerd when I met him and he was this and he was that, it sounds like, I'm gonna be honest, it sounds like Toya was never liked him. I really feel like Toya married his potential. That's my opinion. But anyway, so then Toya talks about this stupid argument that her and Dr. Heavenly get into over a Birkin. I mean, a Balenciaga bag. So let me say this, because this plays into what happened at Toya's house the next day or whenever it happened. They're in the group chat, and Toya posts a picture in the group chat of somebody's purse and said, "Who bought this fake Balenciaga bag?" And Dr. Heavenly clapped back and said, "That's my bag, but my house is paid for." So then Toya claps back and says, "Well, it should. It was built in 2002. And then Heavenly responded, and Heavenly's response, I feel like, crossed the line, because then she started talking about her husband's penis versus Toya's husband's penis, because Toya then told everybody that her husband got a little penis. Now, I feel like that was inappropriate. However, Toya, you started that fucking argument. Over something stupid as a purse. Who can? First of all, who made you the authentication? Was it authenticity police? If you are out with your friend, I wish a friend of mine would do that. I really wish a friend of mine in the group chat would say, "Who had this fake Louis Vuitton bag?" Why would you do that to a friend? Even if it's not a friend, it's somebody that's in your group chat. Why would you do that? That's rude as fuck. And who cares? And I think that Dr. Heavenly's clapback was very appropriate. Yeah, maybe I do carry a fake bag, but that's because my house is paid off. We do other things with our money over here, which takes me back to what we were just saying about Toya and what's important to her and how she chooses to spend her money. Look at Shade in the City. Right. Like, I would never do that to a friend of mine. That's crazy. Now, I ain't going to sit here and say that I might not be at an event and see somebody I don't know with a fake bag. I might be like, child, Child, that Gucci is not. That is a Uchi. You know, I'm not gonna say I ain't never played that game, but for somebody that I'm cool with, that's just so. Hold on to that part of it, and then we're gonna get back to the other side, right? Here for you, Lady BTV. I don't mess with these hags neither. Thank you, boo. Right. Toya is obsessed with labels, but that's why your husband is working 5 jobs, and one of his jobs is 5 hours away from the house. Like that, like again, why you I don't understand why you can't make that connection. So this next scene broke my heart. Dr. Mimi and her husband. I have not been the biggest fans of Dr. Mimi and her husband because I just think they're boring, and you know. But this scene changed my mind, and I'm going to be a fan. I'm going to be a fan. They opened up about their son who was autistic. And they opened up about the challenges that they've had with their son. And we see them filming with their son and their daughter. And she's talking about summer camp, and they found a camp for him that has, you know, the people there and that's going to help him, and you know, the therapist, and you know, all the right people on staff that are going to be there to help him. And they're talking about, you know, when they first saw signs of things and all of that, and they were talking about going on vacation, right? And their son said something about, I think they said their daughter, oh, well, I know, she knows where we want to go. And the son hit the daughter and she started crying, right? Now, I'm going to be honest. I think her feelings were more hurt than she was in pain, but that's not the point. That's not the point. I loved how they handled it. I loved how they handled it. Baby, they said, listen. Oh, wait a minute. Remind me to go back to Quad. I missed Quad's scene. Hold on. I'll go back. But let me finish this thought. They told him, no, you can't do that. That's not how you handle things. Even when you get frustrated, they made him apologize to his sister. They made him hug his sister. And then they took it a step further. The husband, he got somewhere safe because they were driving. He got somewhere safe. He pulled over. They put the daughter in the front seat. Dr. Mimi got in the back seat. And the husband even said, hey, we don't have it all figured out, and we're doing the best we can. And he even said, hey, this ain't even the worst that we've seen. Like, he kind of, once they got past it, he said, look, this ain't even the worst that we've seen. Like, y'all just got a glimpse of our real life. And I love this for a couple of reasons. One, I think we assume that people with money just got it all figured out, right? Excuse me, right? They have nannies, they've got the money, they have the resources, and life just doesn't look the same for them as it looks for us, right? He's a retired NFL player. She's a whole psychiatrist, and it lets you know that they deal with real shit. They deal with real shit, right? And I love how they handled it. I love how open they were. And it took me back to the conversation we had last week about Funky Dineva and autistic children. And that is why, even though people left some nasty comments under my video, people still left nasty comments even after I did my little live or whatever. People told me I was just clout chasing, trying to get numbers off of Funky Dineva, you know, that kind of stuff. But honestly, y'all, that is why what Funky Dineva said bothered me so much. Because when I look at families like this, and I'm thinking to myself, so here's a family, so they're not supposed to be able to take their children on vacation because he might inconvenience you. They're not supposed to be able to take their children out to a nice restaurant to eat because it might hurt you. They're not supposed to be able to give their children the same experiences as quote unquote normal. And y'all know I don't mean normal that way. I'm saying quote unquote normal kids because of you and your uncomfortability. That scene broke my heart. Like I almost cried just now, because. And then when I saw when I saw her husband cry and get emotional, you know what I mean? And here's a family really just trying to figure it out. And the last thing they need is for society judging them. Because what if her son had done that in a restaurant and Funky Dineva is at the next table? So now you're judging them because you're being inconvenienced while they're just trying to have a family dinner with their kids. I agree, Jessica Lewis. I loved how they handled it. And you could tell you could tell that that's not the first time. The husband got to a safe space. They pulled the car over. Mimi immediately jumped out. The daughter jumped. I mean, you could tell that this is their norm. You know? I loved it. I loved that moment. I loved it. And I agree. We do need more scenes that show us these types of things when we're talking about families dealing with neurodivergent children, you know? Anyway, and half the time it's not inconvenient. It's people being nosy. You know what, Xavier? I agree so much with that. I agree. Sometimes it's just people being nosy. Mind your business. I'm going to say this and then we're going to move on. Remind me to say quad. Remind me quad again, child. Remind me of quad. But I'm going to say this weekend, last night we went out to dinner. I went to New York this weekend with some friends. And so yesterday we did I had a late train last night. So we had all day yesterday to do stuff. So we did like the touristy thing yesterday. Like Saturday we did she's from New York. So we did the New York thing. We went to brunch and we walked around Harlem and, we went into a couple of shops, went into some black shops and bought some things and that kind of stuff. Yesterday we did the touristy thing. We went to Rockefeller Center to see the tree and walked to Times Square, and we saw a lot of the different landmarks and the decorations. We saw Bergdorf, their window, and we did the touristy thing yesterday. And thank you, Nisa. Thank you, boo. And we were walking and we decided we want to get something to eat. And then by the time we got done eating, we figured it'd be time for us to take an Uber back to where we were staying. We were already packed to go and get our luggage and then head to Penn Station. So we were walking. And we ran into, we ended up going to Empire Steakhouse. If you've ever heard of it, I don't know. And it's a really nice steakhouse, a really high-end steakhouse, really nice steakhouse. I mean, they had the Wagyu gold, the gold Wagyu steak for $400, like one of them steakhouses, right? And it was myself, it was a good friend of mine and her grandson, who she's basically raising, my friend, her husband, and their daughter, who's 8. And then it was another friend of mine. It was 7 of us all together. I had a good time on the train. I did. I'm going to tell y'all all about it. So I remember when the steak came out, her grandson ordered a New York strip, right? And the New York strip was like $80, right? But she didn't tell him no. I mean, everything on the menu. Like, I think the cheapest steak on the menu was $60. So nothing was cheap, So she didn't say anything, when he ordered it. Matter of fact, when I get off of here, I have the rest of my steak. I'm warming up and I'm gonna scramble me some eggs. I'm gonna have steak and eggs for dinner. But anyway, so I just remember, and I'm saying all this for a reason, y'all. I'm sorry. I got distracted for a second. When the steak came out, there's a whole presentation. When you eat at restaurants like that, it's a whole presentation, right? So they had cut the steak, they ran the steak along the plate that was sizzling to give it a little extra oomph, and they put it, they cut it, put a couple of pieces and put it in front of them. And I said to my girlfriend, I leaned over and I said to her, I said, I love you're giving him these experiences. Because I ain't go to places like that when I mean, her grandson is like 15. I ain't eating places like that when I was 15 years old. I damn sure ain't had no $80, $60. I think his steak, yeah, $70-something steak. You know what I mean? And I said, I love that you're giving him these experiences. My girlfriend, her daughter is 8. Same thing. Now, she didn't get a whole steak to herself. Her and her husband got the porterhouse for 2, and they cut some pieces and gave her, so she didn't get a whole steak or anything. But again, she was like, she said, I want to run the steak along the plate again. I want to make it sizzle again. And I just was like, I love that these kids are getting these experiences. And I say all that to say this, and I'm done with it. I'm going to move on after that. I don't think any child should be deprived of that experience. To go into a fine dining restaurant and understand what it's like to go into a restaurant and just be catered to like that. And feel that experience. Right. When I was, listen, for us, and for those of y'all that grew up in the DC area, y'all gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Baby, Chesapeake Bay Seafood House was fine dining for us. Okay, the all you can eat crab legs. Baby, that meant it was somebody's graduation, somebody's birthday. Baby, if we went to Chesapeake Bay Seafood House, baby, that was a good day. Okay? So I'm done with that. Moving right along. Quad and her quest to have a baby. Listen, I don't have a whole lot to add to that other than did y'all hear Jackie basically say that she don't have a whole lot of faith that Quad gonna have a baby? Did y'all hear that? Am I the only one that heard Dr. Jackie say that? Dr. Jackie, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember her exact words. I'm paraphrasing what she said. But am I the only one that heard Dr. Jackie say, well, after 40, it gets harder and harder. And I know that this is a long shot, but that's my friend. And I'm gonna support her through this. Okay, you heard it. I thought she meant Quad would use a surrogate. Right. She said Quad could use a surrogate because she's saying that Quad chances of having a baby are slim. That's what she's saying. But basically, she was like, I'm going to let her go through this. I'm going to let her go through this because she got the money to spend, honey. But and let's be clear. We know that women have children over 40 all the time. But did y'all hear her? Okay, I just want to make sure that I wasn't crazy one that heard it. You missed it? Baby, she said it. And I mean, those weren't her exact words, but she said at the end, it was at the very, very end. Y'all, hold on. Let me just this damn chair. Okay, y'all heard it. Okay, all right. Yes, it was her delivery for me, but she's somewhat right. Right, and that's the thing. We understand that the percentage goes down, and I know Quad understands that too, right? That's why Quad is flying to Nigeria. So we understand that, but it just was like, damn, Jackie. Anyway, moving right along. So we get to Toya's party. Now, let me say this about this situation. Toya is having a skip work party. Now, personally, I'm with Dr. Simone. Girl, you the only one that don't have a 9 to 5. What you talking about? What you skipping? And that's no disrespect to housewives. I don't want nobody to be like, she's a housewife and that's a very hard job. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. Don't twist my words. You know what I mean? She ain't a 9 to 5 person. Y'all know what I mean. Oh, shit. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I'm almost done, but I don't wanna. Oh shoot, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and get out of here because El Teddy is live. I'm gonna set the redirect. But I'm gonna finish up. We're on the last scene anyway. So, excuse me. So the ladies are all showing up to Toya's house for this party. And again, the whole theme of the party is skip a day at work, right? Skip a day at work, let's go at party. And it's basically her housewarming, but she don't want to call it a housewarming because at this point, Toya, we tired of you and your housewarming party. So she kind of can't really call it a housewarming because, child, we over her and her housewarming of it all. Okay, we are over her and the housewarming of it all. So we can't really call it that. I think where this all started going left is that Toya in her mind had decided how this day was going to go. You know how you decide how something is going to go? All right, there it is. Okay. The redirect is on. So when we get done here, we'll go over to El Teddy's. You know how in your mind you decide how something is going to go? So when Toya decided, first of all, she already got stank with Mimi because Mimi put that napkin down and she was like, what you trying to say? My house is dirty or something? We ain't at Dr. Heavenly's house. Girl, why? Now, first of all, Mimi, that was a little old napkin. I don't know what you thought that napkin was going to do. But what's the big deal, Toya? People put stuff down under their clothes all the time. It doesn't mean they think your house is dirty or nasty, but they are sitting outside on the damn stone. Like it wasn't. So you already had an attitude with Toya. I mean, with Mimi. And you and Heavenly had been going back and forth in the group chat. So you already sort of had an attitude with Dr. Heavenly because you was mad that Heavenly clapback was about your husband's penis size. You was mad. Even though you started the argument, but you was mad at how it ended. Okay. So when it was time to start playing the game, the fellas, she had the half-naked men and the half-naked women, child, whatever. When it was time to start playing the game, the men really weren't with it. They didn't want to play a damn game. And so Eugene was writing doctor's notes to give them a pass from being able to play the game. And it was a little joke. It was supposed to be fun. It was supposed to be a light moment. It was supposed to be joke. You know what I'm saying? But Toya starts yelling at Eugene, talking about, Eugene, look at me when I talk to you. When I'm talking, you make eye contact. You speak. And I was like, yo, who is she talking to? Is she talking to her husband or is she talking to her child? All of that, make eye contact. When I talk to you, you make eye contact. And Eugene even was like, who are you talking to? And that should have snapped her out of it. When he said, see, when somebody says, who you talking to, that is your warning. That is your whoa moment. And she should have heard it. What you mean? What you mean? Who am I talking to? That should have been your Eugene. I'm just saying. I'm trying to give out I'm trying to tell the instructions on how to play the game. It was a way to walk that back where both of y'all could save face. When he said who you talking to, you could have just as easily pivoted at that point, but you didn't. You doubled down. You doubled down on it and was like, I'm talking to you. When I talk to you, you make eye contact with me. And at that point, so now Eugene is embarrassed because he's sitting there with his boys and all his boys are looking at him like, you gonna let her talk to you like that? And at that point, Jackie, Mimi, put it all the women. I'm gonna just say all the women were like, what? Oh, I'm glad, Chuck. Thank y'all for those of you who blessed Chuck on his Cash App for his birthday. Thank y'all. Y'all know Chuck is one of my A1 day ones. A1 day ones. So thank y'all for blessing him. He said he's gonna have a couple of Bloody Marys for his birthday on with that blessing. I appreciate y'all. So what Eugene was doing was writing out on his prescription pad. He was giving all the guys doctor's notes, which I thought was funny. But it wasn't funny because now Toya's mad. So Toya goes in the house. Eugene comes in behind her and they get to arguing. And Eugene was like, what the fuck was all that about? So then Toya was like, don't cuss at me because you don't want me to cuss at you. Okay, got it. Noted. The ladies are trying to tell Toya, girl, Toya, stop. Toya, stop. Don't do that. Stop. But at this point, now she's pissed off. And when you get mad at something and people are talking, all you hear is the criticism. All you hear is the critic, especially when it's people you already ain't in a good mood with, right? So all you hear is the criticism of it all. So now what she's hearing is Dr. Heavenly is instigating. Dr. Mimi is instigating. And they instigating this fight and they making it worse and they instigating. When honestly, Quad has said something. Dr. Jackie has said something. I think the only person that didn't say nothing was Contessa. Everybody else, but you focused in on the two people you was already pissed off at. Everybody was just trying to get Toya to calm the fuck down. And at the end of the day, embarrassing your husband is never a good idea. It's just not. And honestly, you don't put him in a position now where, yeah, he don't want to necessarily, like go against you, but now you done put him in a position where he has to defend himself. Heavenly was definitely instigating. They did, and that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like Dr. Heavenly was instigating. Heavenly was like, Toya, you don't want to do this. Now she did. No, let me rewind. She did make a couple of comments talking about something. Oh, is there trouble in paradise? Like she did make a couple of comments. So you're right. She did. She did say some shit that was not necessary. You're right. She did. But at the end of the day, your anger really wasn't at Dr. Heavenly. Your anger was really at your husband. You were mad. And I agree with what Dr. Jackie said when Dr. Jackie said she's embarrassed and now she's looking for somebody to blame. See, once you start coming down off that anger and you realize, damn, I fucking overreacted. I didn't embarrass myself. I didn't embarrass my husband in front of all of these people. Now, instead of just taking accountability for it, now you're looking for somebody to blame. And so now it became all about Dr. Heavenly and Mimi, Heavenly and Mimi, Heavenly and Mimi. When honestly, on a scale of 1 to 20 on the Heavenly meter, that really was a 5. And I'm not saying that makes it okay, y'all, because y'all know Heavenly is an instigating ass. But on the scale of 1 to 10 of the Heavenly meter, that was about a 5. Maybe a 6. And I agree with, why are you giving her all this power? So she goes in her little closet, child, and she tells the ladies that she'll only come back out if Dr. Heavenly leaves. So they go back outside. They go back outside, and instead of them telling Mimi and Heavenly, y'all gotta go, she cusses everybody out all over again. Y'all bitches don't really care about me. Y'all bitches don't care about my marriage. Da-da-da-da-da. I don't want no fake bitches around me. And like they was a whole bunch of bitches. She blamed Heavenly on Watch. Now I didn't watch What Happens Live because her and Ashley were on there, and I was like, Lord, yeah. So she's still blaming Heavenly, even in the playback. She's not taking any accountability for it. That she was talking to her husband crazy. Again, Dr. Heavenly was able to make comments after you was talking to your husband crazy. Again, we're burying the lead. Let's go to the beginning. You were talking to your husband crazy. Now, did Dr. Heavenly say something out of pocket? Maybe she did. But did she instigate? Sure. Maybe she did. But you started the shit. You started it. Because you started by talking to your husband crazy. See, that's the shit I don't like. So now, in the light of day, after you done seen the playback, after you done sobered up, it was still Dr. Heavenly's fault. You just want to be mad at Dr. Heavenly. And again, Dr. Heavenly gives you plenty of shit to be mad about. You just want to be mad at Heavenly. That's all. You just want to be mad at Heavenly at this point. Now, I'm going to tell you one more thing, and we're going to get out of here. Did y'all peep when King said about Quad apologizing? And she was like, well, I may get mad, but I will come back and apologize. And King was like, well, if you apologize with an attitude, it's not a good apology, or the apology don't mean nothing. And Quad was like, so basically what you saying is I'm a bitch? Did y'all peep that King didn't say nothing? Am I the only one that peeped that King didn't say shit? That's the couple we need to be keeping our eyes on, honey. Anyway, with that being said, we're about to head over to El Teddy's house. I'm gonna try to get a tribe meeting in before the Whether You Like It or Not panel. But if not, we'll do a tribe meeting. Oh no, because we got our Christmas party tomorrow. I'm gonna try to do a tribe meeting, y'all, before the Whether You Like It or Not panel. But if not, we'll do one tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Do I have some errands to run tomorrow? I'm gonna go get my nails done tomorrow, but that's it. That's it. So if we don't do it tonight, we'll do it in the morning, y'all. Okay? All right. Peace.